Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, and today is my favorite holiday of the season, winter solstice. So today I'm going to take a stroll around the Foodscape and gather things to add to my solstice shrine. So join me and I'll give you an update on everything that's growing and everything that I still need to accomplish. So the mid-December Foodscape is looking pretty good, at least the areas that I've already gotten planted. This bed at the feed tank is looking really nice. The violas, the garlic edge, the curly parsley, that Ms. America mustard, and I just love how the sun shines and reflects off of the water in this pool. So the back foundation beds are starting to come together. There you can see there's a ton of seeds germinating. So what I have here is when I dug like a little pathway out, I actually ended up getting a whole bunch of larkspur seeds to surface and germinate. What I sowed in here were actually the poppies, which are these little things. So I will, over time, come through and figure out what to do, as I don't need this entire ground plane to be covered in larkspur, like all the way out to the edge. But the larkspur is so beautiful, so I'm not going to remove it all. But I really love how this feed tank planting came together. That is all barley. That is barley that I actually grew last year, and I had intended on brewing beer with the seed, but then I didn't get around to it. So instead, I'm just growing it again this year. Maybe I'll do better next spring. But that mixed with the purple violas, a little edge of garlic, and then I've got sweet peas that are germinating. These were all direct seeded on the same day. And the sweet peas are great because they will ultimately grow onto the cattle fence panel that's behind it and give it a lot of cool interest through the spring season. I've been talking a lot about fall or very early winter foliage interest, and blueberries sort of number one for that. This is a cultivar that's called Sunshine Blue, and it really hasn't been the best as far as like fruiting and disease resistance. Like you can see this plant here in the middle, it just keeps dying. Here's more dead, and I need to cut back off of it. Its performance is significantly less than my other varieties, but I do like that it holds its leaves longer through the winter season, and you can see how great they look. The color is amazing. Whereas in contrast, powder blue is much healthier, but you can see it's dropped pretty much all of its leaves already. There's a few holding on. I think I'll be gathering some of these beautiful red leaves for the solstice shrine. I always recommend grains for containers for winter interest, and here's a prime example. That's just barley that was direct seeded in this pot, planted with an edge of curly parsley and some Swiss chard, and that'll just look cool. It'll just have that upright kind of thriller presence in this container all winter. I've done the same on the other side of the bench here at the fire pit. So barley, wheat, oats, rye, these are all great options. But you can also do carex. Carex is a beautiful plant for winter interest, and these carex have been in these pots for years. This is Everillo. It's just such a strong, reliable grower. That bed of self-sown arugula and daikon radish continues to provide ample harvests, and we will be eating this tonight. So last week I posted a video on making a new bottle wall, and you can see this is my original COVID wall here, and then thanks to the help of some friends I was able to build a significantly larger one. But I need more bottles, so anybody that lives near me, you're welcome to bring me bottles. I have plenty of space in the garden to be able to create these raised beds. It's so wet here. We've been getting a lot of rain, and my yard is a swamp. It probably shouldn't have been developed, and I have to grow everything above grade. Here's an example. People have been asking a lot of questions about thinning the seeds, and I do not do that. But you can see the poppies are really close together, but it's okay. I promise you, like, the survival of the fittest is real, and they will figure it out. And so I don't interrupt this process at all. I think that maybe people micromanage their gardens a little too much, and then they inhibit some of the magic from happening. So I say scatter the seeds and walk away. So here's a border I haven't dealt with, and I really need to. It's on my list. It's been really crappy weather. It's been raining constantly here. It's so exciting that the sun came out, because I think we're going to get to see, you know, what they call it, the winter star, the Jupiter and Saturn crossing over tonight, because I don't think we're supposed to have clouds. But this border needs to be cleaned up and re-sown and replanted. Already harvested all the broccoli out of it. I've still got some cabbage coming along. There's Sophia. This is why you grow greens. If you're a cat person, they just love nibbling on it. It's actually a self-sown oat. And oats do seem to be Sophia's favorite, although she doesn't mind barley and wheat either. So here's the border that we finished a few days ago. And nothing's germinating yet, but I do see some weeds that I missed. So I will be back in here on my hands and knees cleaning up all that doggone geranium. That is such a huge problem. Ugh, I obviously didn't do a very good job. It was cold and my fingers were not really working. But you can see everywhere that I missed, it's just popping right back up. So I have to get rid of that, because it will become a huge problem. But I think this bed's gonna look great, and the peaches that we transplanted, they look right. They don't look like they're having any trouble. So I think this bed is gonna be pretty cool come spring. This little peninsula bed that sort of divides our property from our neighbors and runs alongside our driveway has been kind of a struggle. I think I built it a little too high and it dries out. You see the carex, love it. And I really got a lot of just self-sowing happening here. I didn't do any of this. This is all larkspur that's self-sowed, and that's all lunaria, or the money plant. That's all just self-sown as well. So I'm just gonna kind of go with it. I haven't done anything to this border. It could definitely use a little cleanup, but you know, I've got all winter. Oh, exciting. 3 flowers open on Jasminum nudiflorum on winter solstice 2020. Speaking of beds that need to be cleaned up, I have got to come out here. This will make a world of difference if I just cut these down. You know, it looks so rough right now, and I might actually do this afternoon. Get this bed cleaned up, and I have an extra flat of violas that would look great right here. So this is a high impact space. It's, you know, right adjacent to our driveway. This is like where we enter the house. And I wanted to show you these pots. I think they look great. So this one is, again, really simple. It's just barley and purple violas, and they are growing really well. And then over here is Swiss chard and violas and curly parsley. And I just shoved a trachycarpus leaf in it to give it some interest. The wall is doing great. It's always, you know, less dramatic than the summer show, but I think it always is interesting to me. I'm charmed by vertical gardening. So the big front bed has germinated really well, and you can see the clumps of barley. These are going to be really dynamic, and then you see there's just like a green haze in the middle, and that's all poppies and larkspur that have germinated in place. So I'm just exercising some self-restraint and staying out of this bed, and I can't wait to watch it evolve. Now the barley wave is doing really well, at least the half that I got planted. So I need to finish this border. I need to transplant the panicums. I need to transplant these hedychium over here and make it so that I get the rest of this bed planted. And I hope to get that done in the next few days, because it'll look really stupid if only half of the wave is planted. Ooh. USPS is hard at work. And there's Cubby guarding one of the Solstice shrine areas. And that's my next mission. You see how the light just shines in this corner so perfectly? I saw it the other day and I thought, well, this is a celebration all about light. I am gonna take advantage of this day, especially since the sun did come out, and build something beautiful so that I can reflect with gratitude.